Hi Clifton, hi. I'm going to take you through a yoga workout today. The stretches that we're focusing on in today's workout are hopefully going to counter what you're having to do whilst we are digitally open as a school. I know some of you may be spending long times sitting at a desk looking at a computer screen. So hopefully the stretches within today's workout are going to counter that and hopefully help you in that instance. Equipment that you're going to need for today, I need you to use two things that you're going to use as blocks. Now you can be as creative as you want with those. I have got my coffee and my tea jars from home to help them. It's just to help with support. You need to put a little bit of weight through them, so it could be a stack of books, it could be something like water bottles or something like that, something that's going to help you to balance. We are going to start on the ground in a puppy pose, and this is a blend between a downward dog and a child's pose. With your blocks, I would like you to put your blocks towards the top of your mat. Then I'd like you to put your hands on top of the blocks. Walk your knees back, trying to get your knees right below your hips. With your feet, you can either have your toes tucked or untucked on the floor, whichever is more comfortable for you. From there, relax your head towards the ground with nice long arms and your hands on the blocks. What you are aiming to do is try to pull your hips away from your hands to really stretch out, making sure your back is nice and straight throughout the stretch. You should feel this stretch through your arms, your shoulders, and right the way through into your back. Try to keep relaxed and make sure you breathe throughout, in and out through your nose. Try to be conscious with your breathing throughout this routine, as this really helps with your stretching. Breathing in and out helps to relax your muscles and allow them to stretch that little bit further. Okay, and release that stretch. Come up onto your knees. And we are going to do some stretches of your arms and your wrists now to hopefully release some of the tension there. So in what's called a tabletop position, turn your palms to face down and your fingers facing towards your body. This may feel uncomfortable at first, but try to keep your arms extended and lean with your elbows back towards your body so that you're moving from a more obtuse angle with the backs of your wrists to a more acute angle. Once you find that position, just rock gently from side to side and you should feel that movement and that stretch in your wrists and your forearms. This should really help to release some tension. Remember to keep breathing throughout in order to relax your muscles. Moving from that wrist stretch, we are going to do another one. So what I would like you to do is flip your hands so that your palms are facing up and your fingers are facing each other. Start off by putting some of the weight through your hips so that it doesn't put too much pressure through your wrists. Once you feel comfortable, you can gently lean more weight into your wrists. And as I explained earlier, a really nice stretch to really counter that tension you're putting through your wrists when working at a desk or a computer for long periods of time. You can either remain still in this position, or you can rock from side to side as with the previous wrist stretch. And release from that position, we are going to move up into a lunge. Step your right foot up to the top of the mat and put as much weight as you can through your right leg. Try not to put too much, if any, of your weight through your left knee. Focus on pushing through your right leg. The focus here is to lead with the hips, keeping your body in a nice upright position. Try not to lean forwards with your upper body. Once you're in a nice tall position, try bringing your hands behind your head and interlocking your fingers. Whilst pushing through your hips, also try pushing back with your head into your hands, as this will work on neck strength as well as improving your posture. From this position, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale out, twist your body towards your right leg. Try to keep your hips squared and your hips facing forward, and just twist with your upper body. Again, this helps with your posture and improves the stretch. As you inhale, try to remain in a tall position, and as you exhale, try and squeeze further into the stretch. Again, make sure the hips are facing forward and it's just your upper body that is turning. From here, release your hands and bring them nice and wide and continue in the twisted stretch. Hold this position whilst maintaining your smooth breathing rhythm. And come back to center, and we're going to switch over onto the other leg now. So left foot forward into that low lunge position, making sure we're upright, keeping that weight through our left leg, pushing from our hips with our body nice and upright. Make sure that you are activating your glutes, your muscles in your backside, to make sure that this stretch is effective. And again, once in that upright position, bring your hands up behind your head, interlocking your fingers to hold that stretch. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, twist your upper body towards your left knee. Make sure you're keeping your legs active through this stretch. and it's just your upper body that's twisting. Keep your hips square. As you inhale, get taller, and as you exhale, twist deeper into the stretch. Then bring your arms out to the side, extending them nice and wide, and continue with that stretch through your legs and the twisted upper body. Keep breathing in and out. Then come back into a central position, and we're going to go into a tabletop. From the tabletop, we're going to move into a plank. So what I'd like you to do is have your hands shoulder width apart with your fingers facing forwards. What I want you to think about doing is plugging your arms into your shoulders and opening your chest, pulling the shoulder blades together and down. Tuck your toes and lift up into a plank position. If you find this is too uncomfortable for you, then you can put your knees down and you will still get a benefit through this exercise. Whilst in the plank position, think about pulling your shoulder blades together to maintain a straight back. In this position, try to squeeze your hips and your thighs together to improve the stretch. To make this more challenging, without actually moving them, squeeze your hands and your feet towards each other to make this a more difficult stretch. You should feel this through your abdominal muscles, and this may make you start to shake, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Hold the position as still as you can, making sure you breathe slowly throughout. And then gently lower your chest down towards the floor. Here we are going to move into a cobra position. Press your feet down towards the ground with your big toes touching each other. Hug your legs together and place your hands on the floor next to your shoulders. From here, without pushing your hands into the ground, lightly lift your chest off the floor. You shouldn't be using your hands at all to lift here. Continue to push your feet into the ground as hard as you need to in order to make sure your upper body is off of the floor. By engaging your legs, this will also assist with you moving up off of the floor so that you're not just putting everything through your back. Keep breathing, squeezing your muscles and trying to increase the stretch through each breath. Release, moving down to the ground, and then come up onto your knees. And from here, we are going to take it into a child's pose. Bring your knees nice and wide with your feet touching each other. Allow your hips to relax in a seated position, keeping your chest drawn in with your abs tight, and then walk your arms out in front of you. You can either do this with your hands on the floor, or if you feel you need extra support, you can use your blocks or supports to help you as you did with the first pose. Push your bum back towards your heels, keep your head relaxed, engage your abs, keeping your back nice and straight, and feel the stretch throughout. You should feel a release of tension in your lower back, and you may also feel some stretching through your hips and through your shoulders, especially if you are using the blocks for support. From here, take it back up into a tabletop position, and from here we are going to go into a runner's lunge. Start off in the low lunge position as previously practiced and have a block either side of your front foot. From here, tuck your toes and lift your back knee to come into a runner's lunge position. The aim is to try and have a straight line from your back heel all the way through to your head. This may mean that you need to adjust your position to a position that works comfortably for you, but make sure you are keeping your back straight and flat throughout this stretch. From here, we are going to move into probably the most challenging stretch of the routine, which is an airplane. Keeping your hips squared forwards, move your blocks in front of you by about 6 inches to a foot. Press into your right foot and lift your back foot up off of the floor, pulling your chest forward and up. Point your left toe back into a supported airplane, using the blocks as support by placing your hands on top of them. The aim here is to try and keep your back flat, which may mean that you need to bend your standing legs slightly. Try to keep your hips straight whilst engaging your left leg throughout the stretch. Slowly bring your foot back down to the ground and bring your blocks back down towards your front foot. Now we're going to repeat the same on the other side. So left leg forward, right leg back, tucking your right foot under and bringing your right knee off of the floor. Remember to try and keep a straight line from your ankle all the way up through to your head without turning your back over. Your body weight should be evenly distributed throughout this stretch. The blocks should be used for a little bit of support, but we don't want to be putting too much weight through them. Most of your weight should be felt through your hips and your legs. From here, we're going to move up into the airplane, so again move your blocks out in front of you. Shift your weight onto your left foot and bring your right foot up into the air in an extended position. Try to keep your back as flat as possible, hips square, using the blocks for support but not putting too much of our body weight through them. Remember to breathe through this stretch in and out through your nose to maintain control and hopefully push that stretch that little bit deeper. Slowly release, bringing your foot back down to the ground and your blocks back beside you before lowering your knee to the ground. We are now going to work on some standing poses that will help develop our balance and our core strength. If you need to, you can use a wall to help support with these, but try to do them without the support if you can. With your right foot on the floor, bring your left knee up to hip level. Control your balance with your feet both facing forwards. This should engage both your hip and your glutes. From here, push your left hand into your left knee and raise your right arm up into the air. You can make this exercise as challenging as you need it to be. The more you push into your left knee, the harder this stretch will be. Don't worry if you need to put your foot down to regain control. Just simply move back into the stretch when you're ready to do so. From here, keeping your hips facing forward, move into a lunge position. So slowly step your left leg back to the back of the room. This is similar to the low lunge from previously, however your back knee is now in the air. With my hips engaged and my back in an upright position, I'm going to bring my arms up above my head. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can bring your arms down into goalpost arms, which should engage your shoulders and your chest. From here, we are going to go back into our standing one leg balance by pushing through your right foot and bringing your left knee up into the air. Bring your right hand across to your left knee. Bring your left hand to your left hip and rotate your upper body. Again, we are trying to keep our hips square and just rotating through your upper body. As you breathe in, try to get taller, and as you breathe out, try to twist further into the stretch. And release your left foot down. We are now going to do the same on the other leg. So with your left foot on the floor, raise your right knee up to hip level. Place your right hand on your right knee and your left arm up into the air. And remember, you can make this stretch as difficult as you can by placing as much force through your right hand as you need to. From here, bring your right leg back behind you into that high lunge position. Hips facing forwards, legs squeezing towards one another. And again, raising your arms straight up above your head or down into goalpost arms if that's more comfortable for you. Deep breaths as you maintain this hold. Finally, putting your weight through your left foot, bring your right knee up into the air, left hand across to your right knee, right hand on your right hip, and rotate your upper body. As you breathe in, get taller. As you breathe out, rotate further into the stretch. Slowly bring your right foot back down to the floor, and that completes our yoga workout for today.